Hi everyone, welcome to Global VegFest 3 from a beautiful sunny day in Bristol. That's where I am. Wherever you are in the world joining us, welcome. I hope the sun's shining for you too. It certainly is today, Saturday, the 19th of March, 2022. In the UK right now, it's just sunny all over the place. It's just like sunshine everywhere. So we're going to hopefully have a very sunshiny, sort of uplifting Global Veg Fest today. We've got a packed program, got all sorts of things going on. If you're listening later, you're very welcome to access all the show in the event program. It's available at VegfestUK.London/Global Veg Fest. So this panel is specifically looking at, amazingly, the great news that we are back after 2 years of closure due to various stuff going on over the last 2 years. We're now back open and at London Olympia. We return to the live events forum. We announced this in December at the previous Global Veg Fest, Global Veg Fest 2. We're back at Olympia, London in the Grand. Here we are at the Grand. This is the Grand at Olympia, which is having a little bit of a refurbishment. In fact, somewhere around about £1 billion refurbishment over the next year or two. The hotels going up, gardens, rooftops, and all sorts of extremely interesting developments. But the Grand remains intact, and we will be there. VegfestUK London 2022 at the Grand Olympia on the 12th, 13th of November. And the website london.vegfest.co.uk is going to be live April 1st. So if you're watching this after that, it's already live. If you're watching it now, it's going to be live in very much 2 weeks' time or so. So that's fabulous. There's a floor plan up. We're already well on the way to the show. You know, there's room for something like up to 400 exhibitors and somewhere around about 20,000 people over 2 days. But it's fair to say that for 2022, we'll be looking at probably more around about 300 exhibitors. That's a bit less, maybe around 14,000 visitors. You know, we want a nice, relaxed, not too intense show, but of course, very good for visitors, very good for all the contractors and the people working there. Make sure we've got a very safe show, especially for our exhibitors. We want to make sure it's a really good exhibiting show, but also very safe. So that anyone working there, nice and relaxed, feels in a very safe environment, but has a most fabulous day out. And of course, that is something that we're already working hard on. Quite a lot of stalls already booked, actually, from 2 years ago at the show before we closed. You know, pretty much 2 years ago this week. Last week that was that. The Olympia Grand has a balcony, so we've got 2 floors. It's all visible from wherever as soon as you walk in. So on the balcony, there's another, you know, something like 4,500 square meters. There'll be some stalls up there, some stalls with sort of budget stalls too. So there's not too high an entrance fee for exhibiting. You can come in on the balcony with a 2x2, come in on the ground floor with a shell, and you know, you're not paying too much of the money. There's obviously a fee. There's a media pack, and there's a floor plan, and there's also a website. Here's the media pack. This is what's available at the show. So you can really, you know, if you're interested in exhibiting, or if you want to get involved in speaking, or if you want to be participating maybe as a performer, or if you want to just, you know, at this stage, sort of 8 months ahead of the show, very much building the show, working with partners, getting some new areas bedded in, getting back in touch with people who we've worked with for decades sometimes, and putting this back together as the UK's #1 indoor vegan exhibition for 2022. And I think it's fair to say that it's going to be very much a community feel. There's a lot of people who have been parted for a long time, who are really looking forward to coming back together, and especially from people, you know, from all around the country. Of course, there's some good regional fairs already happening. There's some good indoor shows too. There's some big exhibitions happening this summer in the UK. But there's something very special about the VegfestUK London. It's been running now, VegFest, 20 years, 10 years at Olympia. And we've really in that time seen the whole vegan movement really shape up. So when we come to September, which is the next Global VegFest, Global VegFest 4, Global VegFest 4, September 22, we'll be looking very much at what's going on, all the lineups and all the wonderful speakers and participants and areas and features and such like, really geared towards visitors. However, this is more going to be geared towards exhibitors, participants, partners, potential sponsors, people who want to get involved in the show and the building of it and become a participant, if you like. So on that note, we're going to welcome our first guests. Our first guests are going to have a really big part of the show. They're doing the whole area. They're already way down the road with it. It's called Tribe Alive. It's by the Vegan Business Tribe. It's specifically for up-and-coming businesses, young businesses, vegan businesses that are really just beginning to grow and develop. Just right for stepping up to a show like this. So let's welcome David and Lisa. David and Lisa are behind Vegan Business Tribe. Hello, Lisa. Hello, David.
Hello.
Absolutely brilliant, Tim. I mean, thank you for getting us on this, this morning, Tim. First of all, can I just say that this is absolutely brilliant? The events industry has just been through hell this past couple of years, but what you've managed to do, and the team you have behind you, just to keep this VegFest brand alive over that time, from moving it online and keeping it in everyone's minds. Everybody we're talking to at the moment, and we're saying, do you know VegFest is back this year? Do you know that VegFest is back? It's just over the moon. So I just want to start this off by just saying, thank you for doing this, Tim, and just thank you for keeping it going.
Thank you too. Thank you for participating, because you've been a really big part of this too the last 2 years since we moved online. I was thinking back, it's our 8th show online actually. Wow. I think we've been part of nearly all of them. So yeah, and it's good news to hear, isn't it? There's definitely a lot of waiting going on the last 2 years, and you must be on the end of quite a lot of vegan businesses that are quite frustrated by that, but also quite perhaps maybe haven't had the year or two of doing some of the smaller shows and building up to exhibiting. And that's very much what you're sort of bridging, isn't it, with the tribe zone? It
is, absolutely. I mean, do you want to just talk about that for a second, Lisa?
Tell us.
Yeah, just with regards to it's interesting that, a lot of vegan businesses have kind of really been missing out on the actual physical events and being able to participate, and it's also a great process to actually learn more about your customers, get the products in the hands, or even if you're a service-based business, getting reactions in person. And so it becomes quite difficult when that's not there. So they're really excited to get started on that. And it's been a really hard time during the pandemic for so many businesses. But at the same time, there's been a lot of startups as well. And we've seen that at Vegan Business Tribe. Actually, a lot that have come to us over the last 2 years are new startups. People saying, I've had a bit more time, or I've actually finally been able to think about putting my time into this dream that I've had for so long.
I've been able to spend my furlough money.
Yeah.
Yes, we've had several inquiries of people, just that, David. Oh, decided to invest my furlough money into some kind of it's like, oh, wicked, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is absolutely. But I mean, what we're talking about, this idea of live events, it's a really important part of a business's development cycle, because you don't really understand what somebody thinks about your products or think about your service until you have that person, stood there physically in front of you, and you can see them pick it up. You can find out what questions they ask about the product. So, being able to actually, come to a show like, this one, and just be able to actually have your customers in front of you, see how they interact with your products, and get that feedback. That's actually a really, really important development process. So that's one of the main reasons that we're getting behind it.
Yeah, I agree. It is. It's something you learn, and also it's not just your products that you get the feedback to, but I think it's still true to say that, especially with the independents, especially the little niche, some of the niche areas that people are branching into, filling some gaps. It's very much a personality trait too. So with the absence of live events, we know this, getting back in touch with our stallholders, and indeed we see this when we're talking to stallholders, and just a little bit, you forget how wonderfully passionate people are about what they're doing. And that personality thing is really important to carry. You know, you can really make an impact with people by actually getting out and talking. And what is key at VegFest London is it is not only, you know, a lot of public who are very interested in products, but also quite a lot of the movers and shakers, your influencers, some trade, you know, people who are managing the shops and keeping their eye out for new products. So although it's not a B2B show, it's very much a consumer show, what we call a consumer show. Of course, people can sell as well as sample, that all-important market research that you mentioned, you know, the personalities, but it's so much about being able to meet people in person and kind of share a passion, and whether you know, and that carries.
It does, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, again, whatever your brand is and whatever you're selling, or however you're trying to help people, it's led by you. You know, it's all about personality. Yeah. It's all about building connections and building relationships. And yes, there's ways of doing that online, but to be able to do that in person and be able to get that feedback back and actually start to make personal connections, and that's what so many people and businesses have been missing over the last few years. So this is a fabulous opportunity to actually start talking to people again.
Yeah, I mean, just to jump in on that, Tim, it's also a really good learning opportunity as well, because one thing we always say to our members at Vegan Business Tribe is, you know, when you're building a business, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Any problem that you hit in your business, other people have already hit that problem and they've worked out how to get past it. So, you know, that's why it's part of our Vegan Business Tribe Live. We're going to have this stage. We're going to be bringing some amazing, you know, vegan entrepreneurs onto there who have already scaled up their vegan businesses for, you know, people who are at VegFest just to come and learn from. You know, people like Mike Hill from One Planet Pizza, you know, they've done amazing things this last couple of years. They've just gone through their final seeders round. We've got people like Thibaut Gurno, who is the sustainability manager for Minor Figures Oat Milk. And they've pretty much just taken on Oatly and are doing extraordinarily well at carving out their own niche in there. So, you know, being able to come and listen to people like this and actually say, well, how did they do it? How did they actually build a vegan business? That's going to be really, really important too.
Yeah, that's support, isn't it? It's a support network. So it's more than just, you know, the trading, is that the support network. And that's really crucial because, like you said, everybody who's built a successful business has been through all of that. And one or two mentioned, and we know we've done some panels between us online where we have actually embraced some quite tricky questions, including, I remember one, we were sort of falling flat, and as it were, failure. And of course, we all know, you know, the old adage, it's through the failure. You know, failure is not in falling over, it's in not getting back up again, or whatever it is.
I mean, the whole way to build a business. No, I mean, the whole way to build a business is to keep failing until you work it all out. You know, it's a bit like doing, but it's a bit like doing a puzzle. You don't sit down and do something like Wordle, for instance, and think you're going to get it right on the first guess. You know, every time you have a guess and every time you try something out, that's when you learn something new about where the actual success lies. So, you know, people shouldn't be too much, you know, hiding failures and things like that. If you talk to any entrepreneur, they will tell you a long list of things they tried out first that didn't work out. But if they hadn't have done that, they wouldn't have worked out the thing they're doing now. You know, just like how VegFest has developed, you know, it's been about trying lots of things out, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't, and then really leaning into those that do. So yeah, you know, we're definitely going to be talking about a lot of those sort of things during the event.
And you've got some great stallholders too. So you've got a lovely little area. So you've got Vegan Business Tribe. It's called Tribe Zone. We're going to be putting all our speakers and such like up probably in about October, but you've already got half of them up there, and people can get involved. So if you're a young, small vegan business especially, or if you know friends, or you've got friends who perhaps just starting out, or indeed, you know, lockdown vegan startups is a thing these days, and there's lots of them. Do gravitate towards both the Vegan Business Tribe for that kind of support, but also with VegFest, you know, it is a good step up. We've got, as I mentioned, some budget stalls upstairs. We can kind of get your feet in and get an experience of that and learn. There's nothing like getting into a big show to learn how to do it. Although, of course, you can also just attend as a visitor and such like. But certainly, David, Lisa, you've got, aside from VegFest, you've got this Vegan Business Tribe. Just tell us briefly how people can get involved with that too.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if you're vegan and running a business, then yeah, we'd love to have you on board. You can come to our website, www.veganbusinesstribe.com, and find out more about us and the community.
I'd also just add on to that as well. We've got the weekly Vegan Business Tribe podcast as well. And that's a great place to go and just start a sample about what we are and what we do. And we are going to be, I mean, we've already started, but we're going to be shouting about VegFest pretty much every single episode until it happens now. So yeah, if you want to know more, go check out the weekly podcast. That's on, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. And that's all completely free.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks, Lisa. Thanks, David. And thanks for all the work you're doing. And it's really important to support independent vegan businesses is a huge, in many ways, form of outreach and activism. If you think about some of the amazing people we've got who are actually also business entrepreneurs, think about somebody like Lisa Gawthorne or someone, who's a UK UK athlete champion, runs through the country and also, runs 6 really successful vegan businesses and got all sorts of independent people so passionate about veganism. They use their business to drive that, and that's a lot of what we both do with VegFest at our events and also with yourselves. So, Lisa, David, thanks for coming on. Really good to see you both. We'll see you probably before November. Definitely in November.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Cheers. Oh, that's really exciting. So we've got, really good setup actually for small vegan businesses. So you're in good hands if you think you're coming on board. And of course, we already have a number of visitors, exhibitors. Last show we did, we had 350. Of course, the most important aspect every time is the food. That's what is predominantly the most important bit. And we have our next guest, just happens to be one of my most favourite caterers from way back. So Meera from Chaatit is going to join us, I think. And Meera, hello, and Prashant, hey, nice to see you both. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Tim. Hi. Hello, everyone. And I think it's nice to see that Lisa and David put a nice stance just before to put us on the pedestal, just to talk about our little business, or more importantly, my wife's business. And I've tagged along with that.
Hello.
Hi, Meera.
Hello.
Indeed. I mean, Chaatit, you've been doing, how long have you been going now? What's the...
Almost 7 years. And we have done VegFest since the year we started our business.
And when was that? 2015,
I think.
15, I think, yes. And I remember you coming to Brighton.
So we were a new startup. Yes, and we've started from VegFest. And so it's VegFest it holds a great place in our heart, and we're so excited. It's back after 2 years and can't wait for November. And yes, it's such a beautiful platform for people like us. We were, of course, a new startup then, and so many people know us, and it's all thanks to this platform. And moreover, I mean, of course, by birth, I come from a very strict vegetarian family, and we've never eaten egg, fish, meat. And this was absolutely brilliant when I heard about this, when I started my business. And it was just brilliant because, again, this is what we think, that veganism is not only about what you eat, but it's the way you think, the way you feel, that reverence for nature, the creation, the other living beings. So it's more about, I think veganism is an attitude, basically. And as we all know, we are what we eat. So again, in our culture, we believe that when we are cooking something, I've always seen my grandmom, my mom, they prepare the food in a very specific way. We are very calm and peaceful, and we have some background good music going on. We always prepare food with a really good thought. And we always believe, this is what I have been taught since childhood, that whenever we are cooking, there is this fluid. It's basically science. It's passing your thoughts and everything is passing, and you're transferring that into the food, and that's what you're serving people. So when we cook, we always we are very calm, peaceful, and I'm always having those spiritual thoughts when I'm cooking.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I love to serve people. And again, it's very important to know where your food is sourced from, the ethics behind everything,
Yeah.
and it's that you're not harming anyone. And what we eat, it reflects in our behavior, the way we think, um, the way we behave in our family, our approach in the society. So again, going back to that attitude, veganism is an attitude basically. So yes, we try and cook our food with a lot of love and taking care of not harming any beings, and so it's yes, that's. And again, I very strongly believe that every spice in my kitchen has some or the other medicinal property and that
Yes.
nutritional value.
Yes.
So
Yes.
again, my food is quite linked to Ayurveda as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
unknowingly, people who come and eat our food, they are eating an Ayurvedic thali. So yes.
Well, I love your food. I mean, it's really important. I mean, fuel, the energy, especially when you're working at a show. And I know that one of the things you'll be looking forward to most is not just some of our visitors, but some of our stallholders again, who come over and eat on your stall, sort of regulars, you've seen for years at the show. That's part of it. It is a bit like joining a family, actually. There is an extended family sense there. It's a wonderful thing, and in particularly too, actually, we have actually seen whole families, as yourselves, sort of grow up and for years, some sort of come on to run the family business and such like. It's absolutely wonderful to see. There's a real community sense about work at VegFest, and part of that is because we have such a, generally speaking, really amazing bunch of stallholders. There's some really fabulous characters who run, who do their businesses. The vegan thing is blessed with some really outstanding.
I mean, you're absolutely right, Tim.
Yeah.
It certainly feels like a big family when we come there, and it is actually one of the highlights of the entire year. And it's a shameful thing, Tim. You've got to do something about this. You've got to have one at the start and one at the end.
Yes, one is not enough.
Well, it's interesting because, as you know, the events trade and the caterers trade, both of us have shared something. The kind of caterers, street caterers, has been absolutely hammered and have very little government support. Events trade has had even more hammering, but in parts has had government support. But it's not an easy thing. And I think one thing that people perhaps forget is that the work that goes in to running a safe event where it can feel relaxed and you can have a good time. That's a tremendous strain, actually. There's a big weight to achieve that. It doesn't come without considerable work and dedication, and there's a number of people who have to put that in. Like our health and safety man, Calvin, who has the job of inspecting all our caterers and making sure. Now, you're never a problem. In fact, we never ever had a problem. But even so, it's always a big job, and it's a big commitment these days to make sure. We're lucky. We're blessed with a truly fantastic, particularly some of our caterers. And I've got to be honest, I'm always on your stall on a Sunday, isn't it, having some food.
We love to see. We love to see the whole VegFest team, and we feel so really, really excited and happy that the entire team comes to see us and come and try our food, and the other traders. And it's that feeling. I don't know. I can't express that, but you feel so good, that satisfaction when people come with a smile.
You love it, don't you?
That is the best ever thing. So I was just talking to Pete earlier as well that my mom, she especially comes from India. And this year I was just mentioning that VegFest is on and she was so excited. And I said, but it's not in October because normally she goes back first week of November. And I said, but this time VegFest is mid-November. So she's decided to stay longer and then leave after VegFest. So yes, yes, we love it.
We absolutely love it. We love the food. We love all the other caterers. And I think personally, I stand there as a model for Meera, just so that when people actually come and eat Meera's food, they don't say that you can go fat. I mean, they'll look at me and I'm pretty healthy, but I'm okay. So it's nice and healthy. So I just stand there as a model. No, I'm helping her, obviously.
Right. Well, I know how hard you work, Prashant. So, Meera, Prashant, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Have a great summer, and I hope you get lots of good festivals and shows. And, I shall keep an eye out for you. I'll be going up to a few myself this summer, getting out and about. So thank you again, and we'll look forward. We'll see you in November, if not before.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's just one of our many, many exhibitors. If you're interested in exhibiting at VegFest, you can get in touch, info@vegfest.co.uk. As I mentioned, the website, london.vegfest.co.uk from April 1st, 22 is live. And we're a friendly bunch. We're trying to look after you. We're not a perfect bunch, but we do care about our exhibitors. And we have been working hard to learn some of the lessons from COVID. Obviously taught us some lessons and we had to learn, and we've done so, and that will be reflected in our show as we go through. We're certainly making sure that exhibitors are protected, especially from potential pitfalls and such like that could lie ahead. You never know. We don't know. We certainly learned not to take things for granted, as I'm sure many of us did, a couple of years ago. So here we are. So we've been talking about VegfestUK London, and now we're going to come to our third and final guest today, just to say thank you very much to Meera and Prashant for joining us from Chaatit, our caterers, and also, of course, to David and Lisa from Vegan Business Tribe, our earlier guests, and now our wonderful guest, who, of course, we do so much work with. And Karin, you must be so thrilled to be back. I am absolutely really excited. Karin Richards joining us from sunny Essex today. And Karin, we're back. What's up?
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I mean, Tim, obviously it's been 20 years. I've hardly missed a VegFest. I would say I've been to at least every one in the past 15 years or more. So what a shock. But like the Vegan Tribe guys said, huge love and thanks and well done for keeping the brand alive after obviously what an absolutely unbelievable 2 years. I can't believe, we're going to be back. We're going to be back in November. We get to see loads of new lovely faces, old friends, new businesses coming along, new stall holders. I just cannot wait until November at London Olympia. And then I get to have my own stage again, which I've missed in the past couple of years. But by the sounds of things, I want to go and join in on the Vegan Business Tribe stage. They sound utterly brilliant. And lovely Meera with her food. Oh my God, she just made me hungry. I just want to go and try her food right now.
Well, it just so happens, Karin, that you are where you are on your stage would be no more than, I would estimate, about 20 metres from the Chaatit stall. So you will be within smelling distance of their wonderful food. So, that is going to be part of the highlight, isn't it? It's being able to eat and stuff. But it is true. We do get to miss out, unfortunately, on some of the other amazing things going on. But you won't be missing out on your stage. You've got the Plant Powered Planet stage, which is kind of where we're going to have, I don't know, some of the people we may have heard of that are kind of, some of our actor friends, some of the people on telly, some of our, high-profile campaigners and such like. I don't like using the word celebrity because, you know, we're all celebrities at heart, but they are some of the people that you see in the mainstream media and such like, and also some of the movers and shakers within the vegan movement. But to begin with, of course, interviewing all these people for Planet magazine, isn't it? It's one of the things that came out of lockdown is Karin and I started an online magazine called Planet. It's into issue 3. We've got 3 issues out. It's on the website planet.co.uk, and it's brilliant. It's been working really well. We're on to issue 4 now, which is out in April 22nd. You can read all these magazines free online. And Karin, you are interviewing already some people who we probably hopefully see at London. We've certainly seen before, haven't we?
Oh, I hope so. I mean, when we look back over the past 15 years, we've had Hollywood stars walking around VegFest. We've had world-class athletes. We've had leading doctors. We've had national journalists. We've had everybody. And of course, you know, we think everybody is a star. Of course, every vegan or every vegan curious person that comes to VegFest is a star in our eyes. We're very thankful for all of the support. And lots of these people I've got to spend time with afterwards over the years. And they're just the most fabulous, lovely people, just like you and I. But it just makes me laugh that they might be on the stage or just walking around. And
well, then, drop a few names, Karin. Who have we seen? Who do you think's the most famous person you've seen at VegFest?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, you know, I've got an absolute so much love for Jasmine Harmon from A Place in the Sun.
Jasmine's been
fabulous.
She's a big fan. Her favourite, isn't it? It's Jasmine a lot, yeah.
Yeah, Peter Regan. You know, I've been to events with him, and people have been queuing up saying he's, you know, their most favourite actor, how much he's inspired them, how much that, you know, now he went vegan so many years ago, they've gone vegan. But we've got Adamski, we've had Ivana Lynch, we've had obviously Earthling Ed, and, you know, just lovely, lovely people. I mean, I love the fact, obviously, and I don't remember writing this down here. Vegan PR.
Do you remember when we had Alan Ford? Alan Ford, who's the actor. Alan Ford. He was Brit, what is called Brit, not Britpop, Brit something. In what's it called? In Snap. I can't remember his films. Snapchat. And I mean, he was a brilliant actor. And then I think during one year we saw Jimmy Page walking around. Led Zeppelin guitarist. He's like, there's Jimmy Page. Like,
we've had people. People from Charlatans, obviously great long-term friend Wendy Turner-Webster and Gary Webster. But I mean, I love the journalists that are coming around, and there's more journalists. Obviously, as a PR person, a vegan.
Well, we've got a lot of media, don't we? We've got a lot of media, a lot of social media. Actually, one of the values of exhibiting at VegFest London, especially if you've got new vegan products, is the attention that you get from people. You know, so people aren't just buying and sampling, but the social media and mainstream. I say mainstream. You know, the nationals. You know, you get your Guardians and your Telegraphs and your Waitrose magazine. All these people are, and of course, Karin, you do not only the stage, but you also do the PR for us too, which is a really important role because you work with and get us coverage in some of the biggest publications in the world, but all sorts of interesting places too.
Yeah, I love it. And, you know, I mean, I've been running my business for 17 years. Usually I'd be in my lovely log cabin office, but I'm kind of like, as I said earlier, like Harry Potter under the stairs at the moment. The internet connection would be better here. But you know, not a glamorous office, but it makes
we would never have known.
Yeah. Well, we're all friends here. I'm sure no one minds. But yeah, you know, run my business 17 years. Working with Tim, who I absolutely adore, working with VegFest, having the space to promote veganism. You know, in the past, we've coached celebrities and media to be vegan, and they've written about it. They've come to VegFest. Everybody has had such a super time, which is wonderful. And I've been running my vegan PR business for 17 years. So, you know, it's... things are really changing and evolving, and now involving more influencers. But you know, at the end of the day, if you run a business, it could be the best business ever, but if nobody knows about it, then what's the point? You've got to make sure that everybody knows about your product, your business, your service. And that's what I have the pleasure of doing, because as much as Tim is like Superman doing like so much amazing work, you can't do it all. You need somebody in your business to be there to sing your praises and look after media.
Really important. We've built VegFest. You know, PR is something. I mean, it's something that not every business invests in, and but sometimes rightly so. You know, there's certain times when PR is right, and other times when it's, but it's a huge part, and there's a real, you know, aspect of that that's there for independents, you know, smaller independents getting started. You can actually get a really good platform without having to resort to some of the awful. I'm just going to note, Karin, because we're chatting, it's obviously current, but you've seen in the last 3 months, even the last week, here we are in March 22, some awful PR in the vegan world. You know, some of the bigger companies have really put their foot in it. They've really been trying to be clever, and they've actually just upset lots of people. You know, veganism, as we've been expressing, as Meera expressed before, you know, veganism isn't a diet. It's not a kind of optional. You know, it's a philosophy. It's a tradition. It's an approach, an attitude, a whole lifestyle that has its roots in traditions of going back generations and millennia. And it's not just some kind of, oh, let's just make it up as we go along. You know, it's something that's really been developed as a philosophy and stuff. So some of these people coming along, and they kind of put their foot in it. They don't realise sometimes that veganism is something a lot of us take very, very close to heart. You know, it's not some kind of optional extra. It's a cornerstone tenet of our lifestyle. So, but there you go. But you know, there's some fabulous opportunities to come, and also to get involved in our magazine too, Karin. We're working on a magazine. We've got some great interviews. I know we're in touch with several people who are going to be in issue 4, which is out in April. I don't know if you've got any clues who are going to be in there. We've got a nice roundups going on. I know, lots of products.
Yeah. So, you know, I love the magazine. Very proud of being part of Plant Power Planet magazine. And yeah, I get the opportunity to chat with some very interesting people. I'm really hoping that Heather Mills is going to have the time to be featured. I know obviously she's a very busy lady. She was one of my early PR clients, believe it or not. So Heather and I go back a very long way. On Facebook, it pops up, you and I and Heather.
Yeah, I remember in 2009, opening V-Bites in
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we've got old friend, you know, Hench Herbivore.
Wicked, cool, wicked. Yeah, is he okay? Yeah.
And there's lots of other people, some nice surprises. Lisa, who we mentioned earlier, Rivera Foods, you know, we're hoping that she's going to be featured and going to be coming along. And yeah, some new faces, some people that I'm working with that I get very close to and absolutely, you know, champion their business. And yeah, it's a really lovely magazine. The VegFest magazines, you know, they really are full of, you know, things that you're not going to read elsewhere. So I would say absolutely support them, and do more than that. Share them, tell people about them, and give the magazines your support.
Yeah, they're lovely. I mean, they're really good. We had Tammy Fry too, didn't we, in the last issue, behind Fries, and we also had your friends who do the supermarket. Is it Green Bay, the vegan supermarket? We've had some brilliant interviews with people. Jasmine, you mentioned Jasmine Harmon was in the last issue 3. All sorts of good people. Gary Webster, who was Minder on TV. Gary was featured in that one. All sorts of people are really interested in vegans. We've had Curly Sue, great interview with Curly Sue. I'll tell you what we have got coming up actually in issue 4, which is a real good look at for January, and a look at the the post results. So how many people a year or 2 or 3 years later? So we've done a whole article looking into, you know, kind of beyond veganuary, which is really interesting. That's going to be a really bit of an eye-opener, I think, for people. So we've got some fabulous stuff. So Karin, look, we've been chatting a little bit. I know we could chat for, we've done so, hours. But because, of course, we did all that VegFest chapter and lockdown, I think we did 8 or 10 or 12 programs together even. They're all on our website, VegfestUK. You can still see all our chats, VegFest chat, Karin, and I would thank you dearly for all of that. You know, you, along with a number of people, gave a real, I would say, you know, leadership during lockdown. You were very visible and you were very positive and you had a lot of uplifting stories. And I think we forget 2 years ago just how disconcerting and how difficult it was for a lot of vegan businesses to people involved, the community, activists. I think one of the things I'm looking forward to most about VegfestUK London is really being able to, you know, be in a position actually to host a lot of people who just haven't seen each other for a long time. So, you know, Meera was mentioning, you know, how many people in a stall are going to be eating the food again, and the wonderful exhibitors. You've mentioned a number of people, you know, people are going to be coming back together. And of course, that's happening at other events this summer. Absolutely tip my hat to all of those other vegan events that have kept the flag flying, as you say, and kind of survived. But particularly, though, when we come to November, I think, you know, some of us are going back a long time now, and you know, and the whole family's grown up. Your kid's grown up now. I mean, I'm going to have a stepladder by the time I see Callum. Last time I saw Callum, he was about, you know, now, you know, so much has changed in this time, and not all of it good. Let's be honest. There's been some difficult times for people too. I think we're all mindful that some of us have had a particularly tough times, and of course others, vegan businesses, especially some of them have thrived, you know, done really well. But I think overall that sense of belonging again and coming back together as a bit of a tribe, bit of a family, bit of an extended family, bit of an extended vegan community.
I thought that was my phone, but I think it's Tim's.
That's me, just
It's live TV.
So there you go, Karin. We're going to be back full effect, and you're a big part of that, obviously, and I'm deeply grateful for that. I can't wait to be back. We'll be hosting the awards again. All sorts to look forward to. Until that time, though, that's very nice. Thanks, Karin. We'll be in touch. I'll be in touch next week with our PR.
But yeah, a pleasure. I hope this whole lovely weekend, all the event right now goes swimmingly. I'll be tuning in. Really can't wait to see you at VegFest. All the lovely people watching, do come along. Get your tickets as soon as you can. Tell lots of people. We want this to be such a big smash hit right after all of the challenging 2 years that we've all seen. Much love and thanks to Tim, obviously, for being amazing in the past couple of years, and VegFest Live is going to be back, and we just need your support to come along. So do come along, come and say hello to me, and any vegan businesses out there. I will always give you the time I possibly can to just give you some advice or throw out some opportunities, because, you know, I've been vegan 25 years, and yeah, you know, we want to see these vegan businesses absolutely thrive. And part of that is obviously being visible at VegFest.
Great, Karin. On that note, thank you ever so much. We look forward to you soon. Lovely. Cheers, Kate. Oh, there we go. That was a little chat about VegFest London. November the 12th, 13th, 2022. If you're a small vegan business or a medium vegan business or indeed a big vegan business and you'd like to get involved, you can get in touch with us. info@vegfest.co.uk. We're live with the website on April 1st, london.vegfest.co.uk. There's plenty of options there. Also for speakers, for vegan entertainers, for comedians, for artists, potentially 1 or 2 musicians. We're limited on that, but we've definitely got a big arts focus at the event. They're very much an arts underpinning. You know, we're expressing this vegan philosophy and these plant-based diets, not just through our exhibitors, not just through our talks, but also through the arts. And that's a really important part of VegfestUK London 2022, November 12th, 13th. Thanks very much for joining us. And we're just going to play out now, I think, with a few slides that just remind us of just, you know, some of the highlights of previous years. Because I think back now, it's only 10 years since you had the Happy Mondays and Peter Hook playing at Bristol. You know, that was just an outstanding memory. We've had so many since, but I know we're going to have so many more this coming decade. It's going to be at the Grand Olympia. And hopefully you'll join us. On that note, thanks very much.